This video is going to be about an online chronic, habitual, compulsive stalker on the internet who had it all. I'm going to bring up somebody. Now, he's not especially interesting outside of the stalking behavior, but I'm going to bring up what was actually interesting about the person. And no, Ed, if you're watching, I'm not saying anything nice about you. I'm just stating facts. Let's do a profile here and ignore his history. This individual has been in the filming industry. Yes, it's the erotic film industry, but that's not really relevant. It's an actor. Paid that way, bona fide. Next, had a hot-looking girlfriend he was acting as a manager for. Worked in 2 bands that were of some merit and had some fan base. Has photos, if they are his work, show that he's a damn good photographer and could make a damn good living at it. And should. And at one time was slightly associated with the band Kiss. And that's it. There's nothing else to this person. The rest of it is from 2004, probably much earlier. Harassing members of the band Kiss, claiming to have created the Joker Obama poster, or the Obama Joker poster, some of you have seen. Harassing authors of real artwork when it was very clear he had nothing to do with their work. Trying to slip into your DMs. Desperately needing attention. Me doing a video on this will feed this. So I'm not going to put his name in the video because he's too stupid to track it down. And went out of his way to throw a lot of money away, in some cases, on lawyers, lawsuits, false DMCA takedowns, and eventually getting banned from using DMCA takedowns entirely, so he has to show up as a random character with no credentials and try to get a DMCA takedown to work. And was so obsessed with self-promotion that he made his own Wikipedia page when that's actually something you can't do. Everybody's made that mistake when you go on Wikipedia. I can just put in my Wikipedia page, your user page, and hey, just publish this as a Wikipedia page. This will be fun. I mean, what could go wrong? Well, nothing goes wrong. It's just that they say you can't do it, and that's it. Everybody's done that. They know you're going to do that. They immediately, when you set up a Wikipedia account, they mark it for if this gets moved to being, if they ever figure out how to move it to being a Wikipedia article, immediately revert it and bar them from editing for a month. Now, I did it too, just to see what would happen, because they just recently figured out they should do that. Wikipedia is not a social media website. It isn't. Actually, it's one of the rules. Grounds for stopping the use of your likeness or image, those are 2 different things, voice, performance style, name, or any other characteristics you are claiming as copyright, patent, or trademark, or service mark, or word marks. There's a stack of shit you can do here. Whenever you're discussing someone like I am, I'm going to call him Eddie and not use his last name. I've described him to the point that if you knew who he was, you'd know who I was talking about. What am I barred from doing in this video? Let's do that. Here's the 3-minute and 30-second starting point for you learning what can you actually have a takedown notice for under these conditions. And again, it's likeness or image or photo. Photo and image are almost identical, but they really do treat them as separate things. Yes, there is. Voice, performance, style, name, and any other characteristic about the person that is immediately recognizable as being that person. If the person is not well known, it still applies if they know who you're talking about by just giving you some hints. Me mentioning performance style as a person who harasses others on the internet and is a decent photographer and has been in 2 bands and has had a restraining order against him by other people, maybe even been told don't come near the band Kiss. This narrows it down to about 300 people, by the way, if you didn't figure it out. So it's not specific. Defamation that injures an individual's reputation and causes people in the community to think less of the individual and is objectively specific to the individual and is objectively judged false. If I state the guy harasses people on the internet and this is the only thing he's really known for, that's not objectively false because it is literally the only thing the person's known for anymore, other than self-promoting himself as the source for a bunch of artwork he never had anything to do with. Again, this individual is a legit artist with a camera and has done stuff But oh, fuck that. I'm going to make a claim that I did this artwork that was significant a decade ago. Publicity right. Right to control use in a commercial context and for commercial purposes to sell products or to imply endorsement using that information. If I made a version of Eddie that was promoting Jiffy Pop, that would be an overt violation of his right to using himself for self-promotion. Same here. If somebody did that to me. Invasion of privacy claim. Here we go. A false or highly offensive portrayal of someone, it only has to be highly offensive, via data sources for the above information about anything about them that was done through hidden cameras, wiretapping, infrared telephoto lens, or any other method that would not normally occur. By any means of intrusion into that person's reasonable expectation of privacy. Not his own blog posts that overtly state when you do a blog spot or a blogger page, it overtly states that if you make this public, you can never claim a violation of privacy for a publicly posted piece of data. I can't claim a violation of my privacy if someone photoshops a pickle in my mouth and posts it on the net, which is something this guy's done, apparently. Actually, what's funny is he didn't Photoshop a pickle. Also, I want to point out some public disclosure about the Eddie we're talking about. Only another person has done that to me. Eddie didn't. Eddie actually Photoshopped me being the pickle. And also, stop sending me the pickle pics. At least this time it was a girl with the pickle. Anyway, waptek looks like you stuck your nose in a bucket of shit. Now you get it in spades. Still hiding in your garbage can? This has to do with a meme about me living in a trash can. I'll do that video if you want to later. On a site about eccentrics on the internet, some of the content of that site is blocked from being accessed due to an emergency claim of imminent threat to human life. They're trying to kill me from this individual that I won't name except his name is Ed. We'll call him Mr. Ed. This guy doxed himself on his own profile page on the site overtly and then archived it. It's still there. He had an unhealthy obsession with Kiss, defaming other male porn actors like himself. At one time he was calling himself that. Called up former and current employers of various people and harassed them. Tried to get them fired and saying all sorts of things that are overtly examples of defamation. Claiming things about me that have never been true or other people. This is a pattern of behavior on the internet, and you already know what the claim probably was. If you've been on the internet, you know immediately what a person with this kind of personality type will immediately go to. You're seeing the entire Republican Party pull that shit today, probably today. False DMCA takedowns of any content you have that even mentions them, even though that's not legally allowed. And the Obama Joker image being taken down off of Wikipedia and the author of it because he claimed, he's one of the few people I know of that is legally forbidden from using a takedown notice of any kind. He has to actually file a full court case. The whole point of a Digital Millennium Copyright Act claim is because shit can be put on the internet so quickly, there has to be a fast way to take it back down. But only if it's an actual thing that you have a copyright to. He has no copyright to that image. He has no copyright to any Kiss art except the stuff he made. By the way, he did a bunch of artwork like that. He did photo manipulations. Actually pretty good at it. Except for the pickle picks. A peck of pickle pickers. Pickers. June 16th, 2017, I requested that his self-authored wiki page and its talk page be locked, then blanked, and then removed, as it's only ever been used to repeatedly vandalize Wikipedia pages, like the ones I was talking about, and or used for harassing people on the internet. And it's also a person who's notorious for this, and I also put in a little diatribe, which I don't have on the screen here, where I said, until websites acknowledge that the person has a pattern of behavior that hasn't changed and delete it, they'll keep doing it. And no, they don't have a reason to change because people don't change out of the goodness of their heart. They change because they can't do it anymore or you punish them. Since you can't punish somebody for this, just take down the content and stop letting them do it. Eventually, I mean, even after I did this claim, he was still able to kind of edit. But they finally said, no, you're permanently banned and you're banned from ever taking the page down. And a do-gooder a couple of months ago a couple of months after this, excuse me, actually a year after this, removed my statements about this, along with anything else defaming, seeming defamingly, just to protect Wikipedia. But anyway, after that, on the 13th, something like, yeah, actually before that, he started doxing and defaming me and others again on a new website, one of dozens he's built, to do so, portraying many users and sock puppeting themselves back and forth, discussing about me and others because he never let anybody join his little website. He made up a bunch of fake accounts and then talked back and forth himself, literally a sock puppet bit. That's where the term comes from. Then posting things like this. I'm not talking about the other stuff he did because the thing had like 10,000 pages. And he named the website after somebody he was hate-mongering, so she would get stalked, blocked, and harassed, and doxing them. Look at waptek's resume. And I'll read part of it that he found on my website because I had it up and it was still up last week. Malware remover, system optimization, training and repair, and computer consulting. Doing business as waptek at a mailing address that I used that was for, at one time, a lawyer and another time a police officer because I got harassed on the internet because I debunked conspiracy theorists who would immediately go for, we're going to show up at your house and we're going to hurt your family. So I changed everything. But I left the address because, yeah, I asked a lawyer I worked for to repair his computer network and the police department, can I use an address as a mailing address? Because I needed one because I didn't feel comfortable posting my real address. After a while, when they heard about this, the police department and the law firm I worked for a short time all said, you can go ahead and use these two addresses. These are trap addresses. Somebody shows up there, the cops are called rapidly because the buildings are occupied by people who are, well, if Ed, if you're watching, don't go to the address. Anyway, waptek's an uneducated technician. Was a janitor for 3 years. No, I was a janitor longer than that. I only claimed the 3 years because I was a janitor before a certain date. I worked temp jobs. I was a janitor, greenskeeper, dozens of things. Temp worker. I worked chronically for whatever work showed up, including the inside of a supertanker, cleaning the inside because it didn't have oil. It had unknown substance from some country. I showed up. They paid me for it. I didn't actually do the work because only one person was willing to put on an actual hazmat suit with lead plate. Only over his balls. Only one step forward. They said, we're not asking you to back up. We're asking you to step forward. The first person to step forward got it. Everyone else was like, I really don't want to do that. That was me too. We cleaned the outside. They paid us for the day, but you know. Waptek works as a computer technician and takes money trying to do data recovery on hard drives for customers who pay him lots of money. They didn't pay me lots of money. I was lowballing everybody. Also an online serial internet slanderer because he makes videos debunking conspiracy theories. As of 2017, he has an account on a website for eccentrics on the internet. So did you. He's on friendly terms with them. What a sick geek. I'm obviously editing the crap out of all the other claims here that aren't, well, that would be me defaming myself. What a total loser. Pathetic life like this. I'm surprised he hasn't suicided. All these shit-talking stalkers are jerks, and they're big losers like this waptek. Okay, opinion stated. On the 100th snark email, March 2018, he says, remove your comments on my self-authored 2007 Wikipedia page, which is now deleted by that point. If you don't, I will continue to return the favor. Hey, creep, don't play with me. I'll make sure I'll come and visit you. You're being reported to Google as a spammer. He hasn't posted anything since 2015. I'm worried if he's alive or dead. And then he sends me an email about a month ago or 2 months ago or something like that, talking smack and telling me to back off. This is basically his self-styled hero behavior. This is him owning the lib. Or whatever. Again, Eddie, if you're watching. You have a lot of talents. If you just drop this hate-mongering campaign against everybody who ever wronged you, you'd probably be really, really successful and happy. Get some fucking help. Anyway, not feeding this shit. What have we learned here? The first part of this video, actually the top of the description, will be what is actually stuff you can take down. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck.